To the Republicans, what we have to lose. To the Democrats, I got really impressed. This is live on Facebook. No. This is live on YouTube. Welcome to the Joseph Hood Show. 2020. We have a five debate last night. We don't know who won. We don't know who won the debate last night. We don't know who won the debate last night. It was history, but then it came normally. Last month it became a disaster. Then second time it became exciting. It was a. I gotta say this is how it is and how it stands for him. Look at him. What I saw on TV. That's what he's always known about, and that's what Joe Biden was talking about. He's talking about the climate change, the climate change. He's talking about the whole stuff, the climate change. He's talking about the whole stuff that has been. I gotta say, what the debate U.S. election? All I gotta say it's gonna be fun to watch. See these two candidates. Now, what it would be 11 days? No choice. It would be Joe Biden or the great President Donald Trump. Time will tell, as we always may know, and you always have to know. You have to know what's going on. You have to do everything they have to. But please, or us, we forget. Now, who did won the debate last night, and I don't know who he is, and that's just going to be something. Now, here's the way we Germany, Joe Biden made their final arguments to voters on Thursday night at their second and final presidential debate. Squaring off in Nashville, Tennessee, less than 2 weeks before the election. The debate was a much more orderly affair than the first time the two candidates met in September, with regularly free questions and scrapping controls on speaking time. The 90-minute event featuring 15-minute statements, touching more. The president, who is regularly opposed, defending his handling of the coronavirus pandemic, like criticizing Biden for failing to react that Democrat politics will hamper the economy. You will have a depression the likes of which you've never seen if Biden is elected. Mr. Trump said he also brought up recent reports about Biden's son. Biden blasted Mr. Trump for his handling of the pandemic, which has climbed more than 223,000 Americans' lives. And he said he had never been involved in his son's business deals, calling the president's accusations mockingly. He often turned the camera. He held onto the camera to address the indictments at home throughout and during the debate. Anyone who is responsible for that many deaths should not remain as president of the United States of America. He said at one point, I will take care of this. I will end this. I will make sure we have a plan. Both candidates were aware that the debate presidents considered their last opportunities to make their case before a large national rundown just 12 days before the election. That's 11 days in the debate before election day. Mr. Trump and Biden were asked to relay what they will say. Mr. Trump raised across and relevant demographics. We have to make our country totally successful, as it was pulled to the pay blood coming over from China, devastating the U.S. economy during the Democrats wanted him on the fight. Success is going to bring us together, he said. We're on the road to success. Mr. Trump warned that if Biden is elected, you will have the depression the likes of which we never seen. Biden, meanwhile, saying he will be a president who represents all Americans, including those who did not cast their ballot for him, and saying he will put sciences over factor and hope over fear. We're going to choose to move forward because we have anonymous opportunities to make things bigger, he said. We can go to this economy, we can deal with this systematic racism, and at the same time, we can make sure that our economy is being run and ruled and monitored by clean energy, create millions of new jobs. That's the fact. Finally, we tell that the chapter of this country is on the ballot. Democracy, they celebrate, honor, respect, treating people with dignity, dignity, making sure that everybody has an even chance. And I'm going to make sure we get that, he said. The final, pres- the final presidential debate concluded just before 10:40 p.m., clocking it at just over 90 minutes. Now, the climate change continue that always know that everything can happen. Where we let that happen, remember there was fire in California, there was fire in Washington, in the state of Washington, and in California, it is what it is. People losing their homes, houses being burned, and something like that has happened. But it is what it is. Now, when to ask him about climate change, Mr. Trump said that what I want is the crystal clear water, the cleanest air. He did not mention that his administration had rolled back several environmental regulations, including the Clean Water Act, by the response that climate change is a serious issue. Climate change, climate warning, and global warming those about major environments and labor groups will provide millions of new good paying jobs. Biden also talked about the importance of development of solar and wind energy. I know more about wind than you do. It's extremely expensive. It kills all the birds, Mr. Trump replied. It also includes Biden of flip-flopping a banning fracking, Biden said, but he added that we need other industries. So now, Walker also pointed out that black people are disproportionately affected by porn to be part of it. The families that we're talking about are important heavily. Mr. Trump said, deciding the direct answer to the question. If that it doesn't matter what you're paying them, it matters how you keep them safe. Biden saying in his response, explaining that he will transfer from the oil industry to be replaced by the oil industry. Biden didn't say that. Trump said to Joe says, I win because of you. I win because of you. He win because of Joe. Mr. Trump questioned Vermont and run for president in 2015 because he believed the Obama administration did a poor job. I win because of you, Joe. The president said, I win because of you. Mr. Trump intruded by into other career politicians who failed to follow through on their promise. It's all talk, no action with these politicians, he said. Biden, however, also votes to evaluate the two candidates for president based on their chapter. I insist to have this race. I insist to see them on the ballot. The president, however, accused Biden of being a corrupt politician, could resist the report of Hunter Biden's overseas business, baby, Mr. Trump said. Well, he always loved to watch his mouth. But Biden called into question the source of laptop and litigation belonging to Hunter Biden and proposing to hold damage in the documents about the Bidens, not confetti formal and internal elections. Oh my goodness. I don't want to hear about that. Don't want to hear about that. This is all this is all Trump's mess. All Trump's mess. Trump said he is the least racist person in the room. Now, Walker asked both candidates about the talk that black people how to respond that genuine about interactions with the police on the rail. Biden said, but a black parent, no matter how weapon or how poor they are, has to teach their children don't wear a hood walking across the street. Biden also said that there is suppression of racism in America and that the U.S. has never, ever lived up to the promise of liberty and equality for all. We have to provide for an economy opportunity. Better have care, Biden said. Trump said he did before proposing to talk about how his administration has added Black Americans. Black Americans. Nobody has done more for Black community than Donald Trump. Mr. Trump said now, saying Biden for supporting a crime bill in the mid 1990s, which leads to has been sentenced for drug possession. But Biden concentrated his chapter was down at the president, implying that did, and addressing the viewers at home. But Mr. Trump claimed that he didn't know what to say in response to Americans who said that his words have fanned the flames of racial division. Racial division, that's what it is. I think I had great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room, Mr. Trump claimed. Not true. He pulls full of every single racist foul, Biden responded. And he says this guy is a dog whistle about as big as a foghorn. Okay, now here it is, the fact check. Trump claims he's immune from COVID-19, started by President Donald Trump. I can tell you from personal experiences that I'll tell you that I had something that they give me. I'm trying to buy, I guess they will call period of time, and I got better very fast, or I wouldn't be here tonight. And now they say I am immune. But it's 4 months or a lifetime. Nobody has been able to say that I am more immune. Now the Trump messed over. The fact check says inclusive details. Now, if you don't know about Donald Trump, you know he did have had the coronavirus. They know he had the coronavirus, and he tested positive. That was 3 weeks ago. That was 3 weeks ago, and here we are here they are last night when he told Walker he told Walker that he had tested positive for COVID-19 and then got better and then he had to recover. He had to recover because he was in the White House all day. You saw his family had COVID-19. His son, Trump, his son had COVID-19. His wife, Ivanka Trump Melanie Trump had COVID-19. She tested positive. His son tested positive. It was scary that the Trump family that he knows. And we pray that Trump will get better. And he did. We pray that Donald Trump will get better. And he did. And you saw his face. He take off his mask that night at the White House. He take off his mask. That was unbelievable. And this is how what's going on. We all know what's going on and know what has happened between now. The news is who won the final debate. Now, who won the final debate last night? We don't know for sure, but who won the final debate last night? The answer is Joe Biden. Joe Biden has won the final debate. Hold on, just let me turn it on. Now we all know that Joe Biden did win the final debate for real because it was a it was last night. It was downright going at is just a little bit at a time. Now Joe Biden did a better job in the final debate on last night, according to a CNN instant poll of debate watchers. Overall, 53% of voters who watched the debate say that Biden won the matchup, while 39% said that President Donald Trump did. Voters once again said that Biden's criticizing of Trump was largely failed. 73% said they were a fail, 26% unfair, and they CNN instant poll after the fourth presidential debate, just 28% said they thought the president had won the debate. 67% called his criticizing of Biden unfair. And told Tough, though the debate did not do much to fully impress or either candidate. Favorable videos of Biden before the debate stood at 55% and they held steady at 56% in post-debate interviews. Likewise, Trump's numbers has held steady, with 42% saying they had a favorable view of the president in interview conducted and before those days debate. And more debate watchers, 5% than the Bidens, 41%. Last night's debate watchers performed Trump over Biden for the economy. 56% says they think Trump will be able to handle it was a policy. 50% performed Biden. 48% of Trump. Held Biden held rise was more trust to handle the coronavirus. 57% Biden to 41% Trump. Climate change, Biden, 67% Biden to 29% Trump. And racial inequality in the US, 62% Biden to 35% Trump. Biden was also largely seen as offering a better plan for solving the country's problem. 54% Biden to 42% Trump. And those split over who seem to be a strong leader, 49% each. Although those days event was far less controversial than the first presidential debate, Biden was far more accurate to be seen as directing an answer the moderator's question. 62% said he did. 31% said Trump. Women were more likely than men to say that Biden did the better job in the debate. 60% of women said Biden won. 35 Trump did. Independents also lost and felt Biden won. 55% Biden to 36 Trump. As did monitors 56% Biden to 37% Trump. And white voters with college degrees 64% Biden to 29% Trump. Among those 60 back in greater numbers than they did Hillary Clinton in 2016. According to most polls, the vote was a split decision, with 46% saying Biden won, 43% Trump, and 10% saying they both did equally well. Longer voters boldly saw Biden as the winner, 66% to 27% for Trump. Among those over Trump in this post-debate poll is just 1 point wider than Clinton's win over Trump in a poll. Those of the final debate in 2016 behind Barack Obama's 48% to 31% margin over. The CNN post-debate poll was conducted by CSSRS by telephones and includes interviews with 585 registered voters who watched the October 22nd presidential debate. Results among debate watchers had a margin of 7 pound error, a plus score. minus 5.7 percentage points. Responsiveness to this was a original interview earlier this month, either by telephone or online, and indicated that he planned to watch the debate and would be willing to be re-interviewed when it was over. Responsive panel and national representative popular basing panel. Now, while I know Donald Trump is in trouble, he may be in trouble, and he might be in trouble if he don't win this election. He needs more support. He needs more Trump supporters. Now, if Joe Biden looks good, if he wins this election with just 11 days until the election, if he wins this election, and what, and I'm not sure it is, but if out in the office, Donald Trump has 11 days to have some help. Because I know, remember, that time, probably last day, one of the Trump supporters turned on him, some supporters of Trump didn't. And now look at him now. Look at him. I mean, he just like he's being pissed at somebody. Really pissed. Like he's frustrated or something. You can never ever tell. You can never ever tell what it's all about, this whole stuff going on. I don't know for sure, but it can happen that way. If Donald Trump then if Donald Trump wins and he gets reelected, then but we don't know for sure. And CNBC says GOP supposed to say Trump won the final debate, but Biden won the war. That's what he did. Biden did won the war last night. Now, for sure, everybody knows peace. They're not here to do anything great. First debate wasn't great, but second one did. Anyway, it is what it is. This, I think it's just gonna get me out. Now, what has happened if we continue when they hard enough? Well, that's what they said. That's what they said. Anything and everything that goes around. And some people said, look like the Trump supporters believe it's something that may happen as continue. Now, 4 years. 4 years he's been in that office. Then maybe the next 4 years. Can't argue with that, for sure. And that's what this debate is all about. Whether it's good or bad. And how is this whole stuff going? Because you may never know what will happen. You may never know what will happen. 11 days until an election. Vote now. Let the voice be heard. So now, as you have been seeing the continuance on CNN, CNBC, Fox News, CBS, NBC, ABC, that's what they stands for in last night's debate. All you have to do is vote. Now, whoever it is, continue. And for sure, I don't think Biden can lose. Everybody say, I don't think Biden can lose this election. Make up the mind. Make up the mind. For the last 4 years, for the last 4 years and the next 4 years, it's going to turn out fine. It's going to turn out to be well. That's what it's all about. And also, by the way, Joe Biden leads in Texas in the latest polls. Not about it. Everything could be found, and hopefully, time for the change. If Biden wins the election, he will be elected as president of the United States. Won for 4 years in his office, and yes, I can see it coming. You're gonna see it coming. Just watch. Till then, I'm Joseph Kurt. I hope you have a great weekend, everybody. I'll see you then.